For the last couple of years of teaching this competition, I believe that one of the important aspects is to go home with something that you can apply to your daily life. And although not all of you will make it through to the next round, or even in fact to the final round, it's important to gain something from this experience. You will learn a lot about HPC, but perhaps I can give you some life lessons too. The first mantra I'd like you to remember is pain versus gain. What that means is the amount of pain and effort that you're putting into something worth the marginal gain that you'll derive from putting in that effort? So imagine a situation where we have a local network, and on that network we have a server, a couple of laptops, and maybe a desktop computer. They all need to be networked. So we could assign IP addresses to these machines using a DHCP, which is an automated service, and that would be the best practice that you'd use in a typical cluster or an enterprise network. The process of setting up a DHCP server maybe takes about 60 minutes if you know what you're doing and you don't come across many issues. And they will assign 3 IP addresses. Alternatively, you could do it manually, and assigning those IP addresses would take about 3 minutes, 1 minute per machine. So the pain of 60 minutes of setting up a DHCP server versus 3 minutes of setting up manually. Where's the gain in setting up a DHCP server? Well, the gain would be if you had to set up 100 machines, each taking 1 minute. There, your pain of 60 minutes setting up a DHCP server would result in a gain of approximately 40 minutes. So you have to be very strategic about how you approach problems. The amount of pain you put in to implementing a solution might not be as beneficial to you in the marginal gain than if you just took a simpler, less elegant approach to solve a problem. Particularly for the competition, is it worth the pain of spending an extra 6 hours to perhaps gain 5% on your performance, whereas you could have spent those 6 hours on the next challenge? And that brings me on to the second mantra. The second mantra that I share with the teams is nothing brings success like sucking less. This is a competition. Your focus isn't to be perfect, it's simply to be better than everyone else. To put it bluntly, your success hinges on everyone else's unsuccess. Putting into practice the pain versus gain mentality, you might not need to make a perfect solution. You just need to make a solution that's going to help you to suck less than your opposition. And the final mantra is paralyze versus parallelize. This may not make much sense to you now, but remember the mantra. In a nutshell, it's a very fine line between optimizing and improving performance and shutting down performance. A principle of high-performance computing is parallelism, and if you implement too many parallel features, you might actually cause more bottleneck and a performance reduction, which leads to paralysis instead of performance.